Hey guys, Fang here, and you're watching the last part tutorial of the making of cake please. On this tutorial we will talk about denoising, a new feature in Corona 1.4 which gives you control on how much noise free that you want on your image by using the C shading beauty pass. And besides that, we will be using some element pass for our post-processing in Photoshop, and also we will cover up Lenscare plugin that is used to create DOF effect using the ZDEP pass. And last is the Nik software plugin to add some filter and final contrast to our image. So let's get started. Okay, so I already started rendering using Corona 1.4 and now it's in 174 passes. And as you can see, there's a denoise amount here. Let's just turn this off first. And remember that every time you stop the render, you should click this button here, not the cancel one, because if you click the cancel, the denoise effect will not be inputted in the image. So you need to click in here instead of the cancel button in the rendering. So let's try it, and it will calculate the denoising. And I turned it up, the denoise amount, I turned it to 0. So let's see now, there's still some noise here, but since it's already 176 pass, it's almost not visible. So if we turn this one to 1, see the difference? So it smudges out those noise, which make it more cleaner, but which loses some details of our textures. So what you'll do with this one, you use the C shading pass, which you can add in the under render elements, and add that denoise amount to 1. The default was 0, and then just change it to 1.0, so that every time you render the image with that pass, you get that denoise amount. And then, so for our beauty render, which is the raw render image, we'll just turn this one off, and then we can save this one all as our cake test render denoise. Just save all, and then it will render, it will save all those render passes, including the beauty pass. So I'll explain it to you now on how to activate denoising here in Corona 1.4. So first of all, this one here, denoising, under denoising menu, the default one was none, and then the adaptivity is already on. If you want to see it, just go here, just go under performance settings and enable debug mode, and then go here. So you can see it's already turned on as a default. If you want some more explanations on the denoising, you can go to Corona Help Desk, which explains more about denoising. I just want to show you on how it's done in the video. For it's usually for beginners in Corona 1.4. So they have some samples here on denoising and the amount of time that is calculated, and also about adaptivity. So always turn that on, but in default it's already enabled. So don't tweak anything here. just leave it as it is, or you can set it this one to 10, but I just leave it to 5. So let's just uncheck this one, and then okay. So in denoising menu, menu, go to full denoising. Choose this one, full denoising, and you can set this one to 1 or 0. But it doesn't matter because we have already the render beauty shading beauty path, which we'll use in Photoshop so that we can have more control with our noise. So when you render this out, let's just try 500. We'll have render it faster. So I'll show you when you stop the render, it needs to render 5 passes first to apply the denoise. So we'll just wait for render to have 5 passes. As you can see here, if you click this stop button, it will apply the denoise amount. And it's calculating. And let's put this one to 1. So even with the 5 passes, it's already cleaned up the noise, but still not. Of course, you need a lot of passes to achieve a better result with your image. But if you, let's say we render it again, and if you click the cancel button, even after the 5 passes, it won't activate the denoise amount. Okay, let's say if you click this one, the cancel instead of the stop, it won't show you the denoise amount. See, nothing happens. That's why you need to click this button, stop here, to apply that denoise amount. Okay, so I think that's it for the settings for the denoise feature, and let's go to our Photoshop. Okay, so this one is different because I've done it before in Corona 1.3, and I already changed the models according to my scene. And the other one that we did, that we saved, was there's some other elements here, so we'll use that one. I'll show you how this to be done, post-processing in Photoshop. So let's open that render. Almost, okay, so let's open this one with the denoise C shading beauty path. So I might need this one here, the reflection and refract in the C text, which is our dirt map, and the denoise, and some wire color. Okay. So these ones are beauty pass, beauty render, and this one is our C shading beauty. So if you want to apply that one, just drag this one here, steady shift, and then just drag it on the beauty render. And then as you can see here, it has that denoise amount of 1.0. If you want to lower down the, what do you call this one, the denoising, just maybe lower the fill to 60. So at least it doesn't have that much noise, even in the dark areas. Because if it's too much, then it looks smudgy. And then let's leave it to 30, to 60. And let's just close this one. And then now we will apply the C text map. And then click shift and then just drag. And then we'll add multiply. Okay. And then we'll just lessen the fill to maybe 29. And then now for the reflection pass, go for overlay or color dodge, and then adjust little, and then we haven't add any curves yet, so we'll add that one later. And this one, for the refract, we'll just use the screen mode and maybe lessen to add more highlights on our glass and for our cake. And last is we might use this one, our white color. Okay, so now we will add a curve to add more contrast to our image. I didn't do much really on this scene because the color is pretty much there, so I just need to add some curves in it. Okay. So the way it was done, this one is already the Z-depth pass. Overlay in screen. Okay. And now I will add the Z-depth pass for a fresh leaf. Okay, for this illustration I will now use this one since my Z-depth here was wrong, so I'll use this one now. It was the same process, but it has some slight color variation. So let's just use this one. So usually that's how I use those elements. Okay, so now we'll use the Z-depth pass for this one. Which is this one here. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll drag the Z-depth to this image and then Control A, Control C, copy, and then go to channels, and then let's say by default your image should look like this. the channel should look like this. And then when you turn this one on, and let's do the control again. Copy, Control C, and then add another layer in the under channels, and then Control V, paste. And then on this layer, just click steady control, click. Oh. Let's just change the level of this. Oh my, there's something wrong with my Z depth. Photoshop, there's some bug with my Z depth channels. So what you'll do once you've copied that one in under channel, your Z depth has, just click steady control and then left click on the alpha, and then go to layers, back to layers, and let's just turn this one off, and then from here I'll just turn that one off also. Oh, wait, okay, from here click steady control and then steady shift and steady alt and E in the keyboard. So what it will do is it will merge everything into one layer without merging without collapsing all the layers here. So now you can apply the Z depth in the Fresh Loop Lenscare plugin. So just go to filter and then Fresh Loop and then Lenscare. If you want to check out this plugin, you can go to their website in here, freshloop.com. It's a pretty good plugin for Photoshop and After Effects. So especially for animations, you can use this one. It's more fast and reliable than rendering in real time. And also, okay, so let's do that again. So once you selected the in channels, under channels, go here and then filter and Lenscare. And then as you can see, it applies directly that Z depth path. So if you want to see the sharp zone, you can view it here. Then you can slide along the focus area. So this white area here is the sharp zone or the focus area. So let's say we want our focus to be on this part, and then let's go back to normal blur. Okay, now you can adjust your facets here. That means you can adjust how many sides you want for your bokeh effect. So let's say we want 6 sides here, and then the roundness of that bokeh just make it so maybe 0.3 or okay, and then lower that one down, the borders. I don't want any highlights on my border, so just lower it down. So you can pretty much control your, see that, I mean your DOF here. For the curves, I think it's the same with the focus. It shows also where you want your focus area to be in the image. Okay, so let's say we're satisfied with this one, and then just click OK. Now it applies on the merge image, and just Control D, steady Control D to deselect. And now you have nice DOF effect in your image. And if you want more effects, we can add a filter called Nix software. And then we'll go to, I usually use Pro Contrast. What it does is it has a dynamic contrast. It gives a dynamic contrast which is hard to achieve with curves. This one is just a warm and cool color, so we'll just leave it to warm. And then maybe we'll adjust something here. So let's say we're good with this. You can even save your recipe if you don't like to, if you want to keep using that one for a certain image. So the difference, see the difference is more, the image is more contrast and more pop out. And we can add more if you want some filters. But for this image I didn't put any filters much. You can go to, usually use this film effects vintage. So what I do is I turn this vintage to -10 or something, and then turn this green pixel off, and then lower down the film strand. If you want to use just the vignette, then you can just turn off the film strand here. But if you want to add some filters, then you can choose from 29 filters. So you can see here's some vintage effects here, some, you know, those slow-mo photography look. So it depends on what you think that's good for your image, but for this one I think I've chosen 14, and then just less. And then saturation will be like just 0, and then this one will be 0. Click OK. And I usually just turn down the 250. It won't be that strong. Okay. So I think that's all for this tutorial, and I hope you learn a lot. You've learned a lot. So see you next time, and thank you for watching.